Most people move their days waiting for the next right moment to learn. They treat education like it needs a desk, a schedule, a quiet room. But the truth is, your education is happening all the time. Or at least it could be. You just haven't been using your time right. Look around. Every day is filled with what most people dead time. Commuting, doing chores, waiting in lines, running errands. Those in between hours where your body is busy, but your mind is idle. And what do most people do? They check out, mindlessly scroll, let the time slip through their fingers. But not you. Not anymore. You're going to Unio turn your dead time into your edge. This is where audio becomes your superpower. Podcasts, audiobooks, interviews, lectures. While you're driving to work, while you're folding laundry, while you're working out, your brain should be feeding. Why? Because repetition and exposure rewire your thinking. The average American spends over 17,000 minutes in their car every year. That's nearly 12 days. 12 full days of opportunity. You could go through multiple books, dozens of hours of world-class insight. You could absorb the mindset of billionaires, the lessons of history's greatest thinkers, or the strategies of modern-day leaders, all while sitting in traffic. You don't need extra time. You need better use of the time you already have. Every time you plug in, you're programming your mind. Think about that. You get to choose what becomes your mental software. You get to decide what voices shape your beliefs. Most people don't realize they're being programmed by default. By negativity, gossip, junk content. And that passive exposure becomes their mindset. But you take control. You choose wisdom over noise, clarity over clutter, purpose over passivity. And when you do that day after day, hour after hour, your thoughts begin to change. You start seeing patterns. You start spotting opportunities. And soon, you're not just learning, you're transforming. The key is intentionality. Don't just listen for the sake of listening. Pick your content like you pick your mentors. Carefully, deliberately. Are you trying to master your mindset? Choose voices that challenge your inner limits. Are you trying to grow your business? Tune into entrepreneurs who've done what you're trying to do. Don't just consume. You curate. Build a library of voices that pull you forward. And replay the best ones. Because repetition isn't boring. It's branding your brain with greatness. And over time, those ideas become part of your default thinking. That's when you know it's working. Also, don't underestimate the power of environment. When you make learning a habit, your entire day shifts. Imagine starting your morning with a podcast that fires you up. Then, during lunch, you dive into an audiobook that teaches you a new skill. Then during your workout, you're absorbing high-level strategy. It's seamless, no pressure, no extra time required. But by the end of the day, you've stacked hours of learning without even stepping into a classroom. And the momentum builds. It becomes who you are. You don't try to learn anymore. You just do. Constantly, automatically, powerfully. This is how high performers stay ahead. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't rely on willpower alone. They build systems that make learning unavoidable. They use time others waste. They grow while others coast. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Even if you miss a day, you come back the next. Because now you understand. Every minute matters. Every spare moment holds potential. Every ordinary task can become extraordinary if it's paired with growth. When you commit to that mindset, education isn't something you do, it's who you are. There's something powerful about putting pen to paper. It's not just about recording your thoughts. It's about owning them. Writing forces you to slow down and confront your mind in real time. No filters. No distractions. Just you and your truth staring back at you in ink. It's where clarity begins. Most people live in mental chaos. Thoughts bouncing, feelings tangled, priorities unclear. But when you write, you untangle the mess. You organize your thoughts. You see patterns you didn't even know were there. In that process, you don't just understand, you evolve. Writing is how you expose your blind spots. It's easy to think you know something, to believe you've mastered a concept or internalized a lesson. But the moment you try to explain it, clearly, precisely, on paper, you realize what you don't know. That's not weakness, that's growth. When you write about what you've learned, you deepen your understanding. When you write about your struggles, you gain perspective. And when you write about your goals, you activate them. Because now they're real, not floating in your imagination, not locked in your head, but visible, documented, accountable. You don't need to be a writer to write. You don't need perfect grammar or poetic flair. You need honesty. You need consistency. 5 minutes a day. That's it. 5 minutes to ask yourself, what did I learn today? What did I feel? What did I fear? What can I do better tomorrow? Those questions hold more power than a dozen self-help books. If you answer them honestly, you'll start noticing patterns in your behavior. You'll catch yourself making the same mistakes. And once you see the loop, you can break it. That's the kind of awareness that changes lives. Use writing as your personal mirror. No one else needs to read it. This is for you. A place where you don't perform. You don't pretend. You just a process. And that process becomes transformation. Your thoughts become sharper. Your confidence grows. You begin to trust your own voice. And that voice becomes stronger with time. Most people don't trust themselves because they've never actually heard themselves. Writing gives you that voice. Loud, raw, unapologetic. And once you have it, the world can't silence it. And don't limit writing to reflection. Use it as a tool for learning. After you read a powerful idea, write about it. Break it down in your own words. Connect it to your life. Apply it. Teach it on the page. Because writing isn't just about remembering. It's about reinforcing. The more you write, the more the lesson becomes yours. You turn knowledge into wisdom. You take theory and turn it into action. Writing is the bridge between learning and living. Don't let what you learn float away. Anchor it with ink. This is your personal archive of growth. A journal is more than a diary. It's proof of your evolution. You can look back and see how far you've come. See how your mindset has sharpened, how your values have strengthened, how your focus has shifted. And that kind of perspective, it's fuel. It reminds you that even when it feels slow, even when it feels messy, as you are moving forward, word by word, page by page, and eventually, that collection of thoughts becomes a map of your journey. one that no one else could write but you. Most people are afraid to question what they've been taught. They cling to what they've always believed, not because it's right, but because it's comfortable. But if you want to grow, if you want to rise, you must be willing to step into the uncomfortable space of asking, why? Why do I believe this? Where did it come from? Who benefits from it? That's how real learning begins. Not with answers, but with questions. Because when you start questioning everything, especially your own assumptions, you begin to break free from mental cages you didn't even know you were living in. We've been trained to follow systems, to obey structures, to believe what we're told. School, society, social media. They all come with rules, traditions, expectations. But very few of those rules are built for your liberation. They're built for conformity. So, you have to be bold enough to interrogate the systems that shaped you. Are they serving you? Or are they controlling you? Are they helping you grow? Or keeping you small? This kind of questioning isn't easy. It threatens your identity. It shakes your foundation. But that's exactly why it's necessary. Because on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. You can't grow without shedding layers. You can't become who you're meant to be while clinging to outdated beliefs that no longer align with your purpose. Start observing the way you react to ideas. Do you instantly reject them? Do you get defensive? Do you shut down because something doesn't align with what you've always known? That's your ego resisting evolution. And your job is to push through that resistance. Not every idea will be true. Not every concept deserves your trust. But every idea you examine, truly examine, gives you more control over the way you think. It gives you mental clarity. It gives you choice. The most powerful minds in history all had one thing in common: curiosity. They weren't satisfied with surface level knowledge. They wanted to understand a XY beneath this what. They weren't afraid to challenge norms, even when it made them unpopular. And that's what you need to cultivate. A mind that hungers for depth. Don't settle for second-hand opinions. Go to the source. Do the research. Think for yourself. When someone says, "That's just how it is," don't accept it. Ask why. Ask how. Ask what would happen if it wasn't. Because the moment you stop questioning is the moment you stop growing. Even your own thoughts should not go unchecked. Self-questioning is one of the most transformative practices you can build. Ask yourself, are these thoughts mine, or were they planted by someone else? Are my beliefs empowering me or limiting me? What am I refusing to see because it threatens my comfort? These are not casual questions. These are weapons. And when you use them daily, you start dismantling the internal lies that have been holding you back for years. You stop operating on autopilot. You become intentional. And that intention is where growth explodes. Questioning is not rebellion. It's responsibility. It's the act of choosing truth over tradition, clarity over comfort, evolution over ego. And once you make questioning a daily habit, you'll start to notice something powerful. The world begins to open up. Possibilities expand. Options appear. New ways of thinking enter your mind. You're no longer limited by the narrow perspectives you were handed. You create your own. You think on purpose. You believe on purpose. And from that place, you become unstoppable. Because a mind that questions is a mind that ever leads. Observation is a lost art in today's loud world. Everyone's talking, posting, shouting to be seen. Yet the people who truly rise are the ones who know how to A, watch out, to O, listen, to study. Because every environment you enter is teaching you something. Every room, every person, every conversation holds a lesson, but only if you're sharp enough to catch it. The problem is, we've been trained to react instead of reflect, to rush instead of read between the lines. But when you develop the discipline of silent observation, you begin to see what others miss. You begin to learn from life in real time. Watch how people speak when they're confident and when they're pretending. Notice how leaders carry themselves. Study their word choice, their presence, their pauses. These subtle details reveal more than any textbook ever could, because the world doesn't teach you through lectures. It teaches you through behavior. And when you start paying attention, you start collecting patterns. You begin to understand what moves people, what influences them, what shuts them down. And you don't just become smarter. You become a strategic. This is how you get ahead without saying a word. You let the world become your classroom and people become your teachers. Even failure has a language. People will show you how they sabotage themselves. Through their excuses, their body language, their energy. Pay attention. Watch how people respond to pressure. Observe what they avoid. That's where the real data is. Because success leaves clues, yes, but so does struggle. And if you're wise enough, you can learn from both. You don't need to touch every fire to know it burns. If you're watching closely, you'll see the smoke before the flames. That's how you stay ahead. You don't just learn from experience. You learn from why everyone experiences. This level of awareness makes you powerful. You become the person who speaks less but says more. Who moves with precision, not impulse. Who knows what's happening in a room before anyone opens their mouth. That's emotional intelligence. That's psychological sharpness. And it's not something you're born with. It's built moment by moment through observation. But it takes discipline, because your ego will want to jump in. It will want to prove something. To be right, to ignore it, let the noise pass, stay silent, stay present. Let everyone else play checkers while you're learning the rules of chess. Nature itself is one of the greatest teachers. If you're awake enough to see it, the rhythm of seasons, the patience of trees, the strength of stillness, the silence before a storm, everything is communicating, everything is teaching. But we're too busy, too distracted, too reactive to notice. Build the habit of awareness. Walk into a space and feel it. Pay attention to tension, energy, flow. Look for cause and effect in everything. Why did that person rise? Why did that business fail? Why did that moment shift the room? That level of awareness isn't just power, it's protection. The more you observe, the less life surprises you, because you've already seen it. The arrogance, the fear, the patterns of people who succeed and those who don't. It's all there, hidden in plain sight. Most people miss it because they're too busy trying to be impressive. But not you. You're collecting data, storing insight, training your intuition, and that training will separate you It will make your instincts razor sharp. You won't need to be the loudest. You'll be the wisest. And in a world full of noise, that kind of silent wisdom is your greatest advantage. Most people confuse education with information. They think if they read more, scroll more, or watch another video, they're growing. But that's a trap. Real education isn't passive. It's active. You don't grow by just consuming ideas. You grow by living them. That means taking what you've learned and putting it to the test. In real time, in your real life. It means turning theories into behavior. Turning insights into action. You could listen to 100 motivational talks. But if you don't apply even one concept, nothing changes. Learning without action is just entertainment dressed up as productivity. Implementation is the muscle most people never train. They collect knowledge, but they don't move. They know what to do, but they never do it. Why? Because applying knowledge takes courage. It takes effort. It means stepping into the unknown, risking mistakes, facing discomfort. But that's the exact space where growth lives. You want to develop mental toughness. Start applying difficult ideas. You want to increase emotional intelligence. Practice what you read. You want to master discipline. Use what you learned in your worst moments, not your best. That's how information turns into transformation, not in theory, in practice. Let's be clear, knowledge is not power. It's potential power. Action is the force that turns potential into results. You can read all about confidence, but until you speak up in that meeting, it's just a nice idea. You can study focus all day, but until you put your phone down and do the work, you're still stuck. Reading about fitness won't change your body. Learning about wealth won't change your bank account. Studying success won't make you successful. Only execution will. You have to turn your ideas into decisions, and your decisions into action. Action also teaches you faster than any book ever will. When you apply what you know, you get feedback instantly. Did it work? Did it fail? What do you need to adjust? This is where wisdom is born, not just knowledge, but embodied understanding. You're not just repeating what others say. You're building your own framework. You're becoming your own expert. That's why the most successful people aren't always the smartest. They're the most committed to action. They don't wait until they feel ready. They don't wait until they know everything. They start. And they learn by hours doing. The truth is, your life is your greatest classroom. Your mistakes are your most honest teachers. Your daily routines are your exam papers. And the way you show up each day, that's your grade. So stop looking for the perfect moment to apply what you've learned. Use what you know. Now. Don't let ideas rot in your notebook. Take one principle, one tool, one insight, and use it. Today, let the result humble you. Let it surprise you. Let it stretch you. Because once you act, even imperfectly, you've already separated yourself from the majority. This is where real momentum begins. Because action creates confidence. It builds trust between you and yourself. Every time you follow through, even on something small, you reinforce the belief that you're capable. And that belief, it multiplies, it compounds. You don't just learn, you become. Slowly, steadily, powerfully. Learning then becomes a lifestyle, not a task. And with every step, every bold application of what you know, You're shaping a future that's no longer based on theory, but on lived, tested, proven wisdom. That's what it means to educate yourself every day, not just by what you learn, but by how fiercely you live it. You are your own greatest investment. And yet, most people will spend more time scrolling social media than they will developing their own mind. They'll upgrade their phones, their wardrobes, their cars, but not themselves. That's the mindset that keeps people stuck. Because the truth is, everything in your life rises and falls with you. Your income, your relationships, your confidence, your peace. It all begins with your personal growth. And if you're not consciously developing yourself every single day, you're slowly deteriorating. There is no neutral in life. You're either leveling up or fading out. The problem is, people expect personal growth to be convenient. They want change, but not discomfort. They want evolution, but not effort. That's not how it works. Growth demands intention. It demands sacrifice. It means waking up earlier to read when others are sleeping. Saying no to distractions so you can say yes to progress. Choosing silence over noise, books over binge watching, development over drama. It's in those moments, those quiet, daily decisions, that you separate yourself. Because growth is rarely dramatic, it's subtle, it's invisible, but it's also unmistakable over time. And don't fall into the trap of waiting for the right moment. Personal development doesn't start when life gets easier. It makes life easier. You don't wait for motivation to start. You start, and motivation follows. Want to be a better communicator? Practice speaking up today. Want to become more disciplined? Commit to one non-negotiable habit. Want to build resilience? Start doing things that are hard on purpose. These aren't grand gestures. These are daily practices. And they're available to you right now, if you're willing to do the work. When you commit to developing yourself daily, something powerful happens. Your identity starts to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone trying to improve and start seeing yourself as someone who does. Someone who becomes. Every book you read, every skill you sharpen, every challenge you embrace, it all compounds. Slowly at first, then all at once. And eventually, your external world catches up with your internal evolution. You'll start getting opportunities not because you're lucky, but because you're ready. And readiness is earned through relentless self-investment. People will notice something different about you, and they won't be